Hi, good evening. Welcome, Facebook. Good evening to you. Welcome, YouTube. Welcome, Instagram. Um, Obviously, you guys know. Thanks for tuning in. This is a fun show. We're going to do a live Q&A talking all about your weight loss journey, my weight loss journey. Any questions you have, this is the opportunity to just throw them out. This is a an Ask Me Anything kind of show. So we'll spend about an hour or so together just hanging out and just chatting, catching up. So let's see what's going on. Angela is checking in first on Facebook. Good evening to you. Mandy, good to see you as well. Amy's here on Facebook. Jan is here. Hello. Marsha checking in first on Instagram. Good evening to you. Rachel is here. Therese checking in. YouTube is, of course, going well as well. So, Anna, good evening from Atlanta. Denise is here. Karen checking in from Long Island. Good evening. Let's see. Margie from St. Pete. Good evening to you. Barb's here. Yay. Barb, good evening to you. Susan's here. Helen checking in on YouTube. Very fun. So we're now cross-platform. Everyone's checked in. Jen Harris says, Happy National Cheeseburger Day. I missed it. Dang it, I always miss it. Jamie says, hello. Jessica from Los Angeles. Barbara in Atlanta. Very cool. Let's see here. What else do we have? Cheryl checking in from Washington. Susan is here. Good evening to you. Jamie says, hi, everyone. Diane, hello from Wisconsin. Very fun. Jessica says, hello from Minnesota, my first Facebook Live, traveling for work and going to listen while I work out. Very cool. Well, this is a unique kind of show. So normally we do an actual podcast, but I don't have a show prepped for tonight. So I had two options. I had one option was to go to bed, which was the preferred option. And then the other option was, well, actually said I would get a show in. So let's get, I want to do just and we'll spend an hour together, but I just want to just chat. Really, what's on your mind? What do you want to know? What do you want to ask? What are you struggling with? What are you proud of? What's going on awesome in your life? What do you want to celebrate? That's all we're going to do here. So if you tuned in looking for this, I am your host, Fat Dad. Not tonight. That goes away, and tonight we're just hanging out. So that's it. That's the prep. I'll scroll through in a second, trying to catch up with your comments. So this kind of format makes it a lot more difficult for me because now I'm juggling 3 or 4 comments. I'm not going to be able to just sit there and read everything and scroll everything. So you ask the question. If you don't get an answer, ask it again. No shame in that. If for some reason I've missed you and you're like, hey, wait, say hi again. Because I'm not going to be able to keep up with the comments the way I normally do. So anyway, no shame. Like I said, just hanging out. Franny says, excited for Q&A. I love these. They're kind of fun too, right? It's really just how are you doing? What do you want to know? What do you need help with? Therese checking in from Chicago. Let's see. Robin says, hi from Dayton. Diana's here. Good evening. Carrie's here. Chelsea's here. Gloria from California's here. Louisville's checking in, says Michelle. Marcia moved over to Facebook. Melissa says, hey, from Minneapolis on my second week of maintenance. It's going great. Let's see, Minnesota. Lisa's checking in. Karen's here. Alice is here. Hello, everyone. Barb from San Diego. Jamie says, party can start. Marcia's here. Woohoo! Yeah. Alicia says, hey, pretty shirt. I'm jealous. Want a shirt like that. National Talk Like a Pirate Day tomorrow. Very cool. American Eagle, maybe, I think. I can't remember. This was probably one of the first medium shirts I bought when I reached goal. So it still fits. That's kind of cool. I like it. Let's see. Colette from Long Island's here. Angela is here. Katie's here. Mandy says bell ring in order. Yeah, I forgot. Let's see. Always forget, right? If it's your first time joining in, we ring the bell. I forget sometimes. Kit checking in on Instagram. Good evening. Barbara says, celebrating my lifetime goal weight all summer, going to keep this going. And then Betty follows up with hi from Idaho over on YouTube. So very, very, very cool. Alicia says, and I got my husband to join Weight Watchers. Yes. coolest thing. People ask me all the time, how do I get so and so to join? How do I get my friend to join? How do I get my husband to join? The answer is you don't. So I hate that answer. It's just the truth, though. You don't get anyone to join. You just show them how awesome it is, and then they get jealous and join to spite. And a lot of times they join just to prove you that it doesn't work, and then they go, "Oh, wait a minute, it does." Very fun. Katie says they reached a new decade this week, and Marcia was there to witness it. I saw that post. Very fun. Very, very cool. Jeff says, hello from South Carolina. I was down 5.2 today at weigh-in. Very cool, Jeff. Great work. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Jamie says, how's the 2019 tour coming along? Here, I'll be honest with the 2019 tour, right? So let's start with the 2018 tour. The 2018 tour started off with me traveling, having to travel for work to a lot of different places, and I figured, well, if I'm already going to be there, then I might as well, go in a day early, stay a day late, run a race or whatever. So 2018, that didn't happen in that regard. Almost every single one of them, something happened and the work trips got canceled, but I went anyways. So now as I'm trying to plan 2019, I don't have a lot of work travel planned because I've announced that I'm going to retire. So it makes no sense for the military to send me on work trips now because they know I'm not going to be there. So now I'm trying to piece together where I would like to go, and I'll be honest with you, I'm trying to find someone awesome to help cover the expense of the airline travel and the hotel travel. And so I'm working with a couple people's names that you've heard. I'm working with them to see if we can piece something together. That's kind of the missing crux for all that, is how do I pay for it? As much as I love going there, the Patreon community does a great job of that. But it certainly doesn't cover it in its entirety. But so that's it. So how is it coming? I have a long list of places you guys want me to visit, and a long list of places that I agree I want to go visit. And if we can make it work, I'm all in. I've learned so much this first year on how important it is to just look you in the eye, truly, and say, I believe in you. That's it. I've learned that does nothing replaces that in-person connection. So that's what I'm trying to accomplish. Coletta checking in from Rockford, Illinois. Good evening to you. Alice says hi, Mike. Good evening. Sarah says hi, Wingman. Keith is here. Denise is here. La Crosse, Wisconsin. Debs checks in. Marcia says, and Facebook is totally in sync with Instagram. That never happens. Woohoo! Denise, Wine Country's here. Kansas City checking in. Terry says hi. Kelly from Sarasota. Let's see. Shannon from Nebraska. Jessica says, is there a plan for the DC walk run? I signed up but haven't seen anything. Right. So again, what happens on the tour is these are trips that I am trying to get scheduled on. So I am scheduled to fly to DC. Actually, I'm scheduled to go to DC. I don't know how I'm getting there yet. Scheduled to get to DC. I'm scheduled to talk at the Food Nutrition Conference and Expo. They're the Food Nutrition, FNCE, they call it. The Food Nutrition Conference and Expo is that weekend. So I am on a panel to do some speaking. What I'm trying to find out now is when that panel session is going to take place. And so once I know when that panel session is taking place, then I will determine what my schedule looks like for the rest of the weekend, and then plan a walk/run in DC. Generally speaking, if you go to fatdag.com and you've signed up for the event, I will push an email out to you once I truly know that I'm going. I know I've said this a couple times to a lot of different people, and I get it on your end. You're excited. You want to be a part of this. I mean, every time we've done these events, it's just a ton of fun. Everyone has a blast. People meet new people. So I get that you want to be a part of it. I really do, and I appreciate that. And my heart beats it's harder because yeah, I love it too. But what I can't afford to do is tell you that I commit to going someplace 3-4 months out. You buy an airline ticket, you rent a hotel room, you change your plans, and then some reason logistically I can't make it. So what I do to prevent you from that happening, and it's unfortunate, is I wait till I'm 100% confident that I'm going to go there, and then I let you know I'm going to be there. So in this case, I'm still about 95% sure I'm going to DC. As soon as that is 100%, and for me, 100% is here's the dates and times. As soon as I know that, then I will plan a walk around that. So hope that helps. But if you signed up on fatdag.com, I will push an email out to you once I truly confirm it. Stella Girl on Instagram, hello. Let's see, Susan's here. Corey's from Connecticut, good evening. Omaha, Amy checks in. Kimberly from Clover, South Carolina. Let's see, Karen is here. Jessica says, when are you going to San Francisco? So right now, San Francisco is scheduled for November 10th. Got some email that conflicts with that. So I will be there November 10th. That's my plan, but I'm trying to work the logistics on how I'm going to make that happen. So same thing. Sign up at fatdag.com, and I'm not trying to push you to the website, even though that's what I'm trying to do. I'm really just trying to get you on the mailing list, and I will tell you what plans I have as I have them. Dayton, Sarah, good evening to you. Joan says, how about the Cleveland Browns? Got it. Wendy's here. Woo! Monterey, Mary Lou is here. I love this. Lynn says, I did what you told me to, and I ate my weeklies and I lost a pound. I was afraid to eat them. Very cool. So sometimes it's hard on this journey, right? Is we believe that we have to eat less food to lose weight. But there is a balance of how much you actually have to eat. And I don't know what that magic formula is, but so many of us are so focused on trying to lose weight that we think not eating is the solution. And that's not true. There is a point to where you actually do need to eat a better healthy balance, and you can lose weight. So weeklies are part of the program, and the program works. So good job, Lynn. Proud of you. Kimberly says, my first time live. So there we go. Thank you, Kimberly. Welcome. Very cool. Very, very cool. Let's see. Kimberly, I got you. So Sarah says, hi, Mom. Woohoo. Colette says, hi back. Let's see. So I don't know if the Browns won. So let's see. Scrolling through. Hi from San Antonio. Candy's here. Let's see. Karen said 9 months ago, completing receptionist training for Weight Watchers, paying it forward. Very nice. Very, very cool. Let's see. Scrolling through. Bloomington, Patricia's here. Heather says, I'm the new Daisy. You keep missing me. Hi, Mike. Hi, Heather. Hi, Heather. Hi, Heather. Yeah. It's so fun. It's so, you guys who are in Indianapolis for the Indy Ultimate, when we did the live podcast, you got to see Facebook, and I don't think any of you noticed how difficult it is to try and read these comments. It's fun. So yeah. So Heather, I apologize for skipping you so many times, but I see your name all the time. So hi, Heather. Let's see. So yeah, so just real quick, just to catch up, tonight's format is really, I'm just ask me anything, whatever you want to know, where you're struggling with, what do you need help with, what do you need advice on, whatever it is you got, this is what we're going to spend the next hour, now maybe less, doing. So all you, if you don't ask anything, then I'm just going to keep saying hi to everybody, and then people are like, oh, all that guy doesn't say hi to people. Yeah, that's important too. DFW Lene checks in. Good evening. Maria is saying hi to Heather. Let's see. Facebook still doesn't allow me to view larger comments. So Lisa says maybe we should come to you in Indianapolis. If you build it, find some races for us, we will come. So I mean, I do 2 meetings a week, Lisa. Really, I do a Tuesday meeting, I do a Thursday meeting. You're certainly welcome to attend either of those. We did the Indy Ultimate last week in Indianapolis, or last month. When did we do it? September 8th. Anyway, so yeah, but I mean, it doesn't make sense for all of you guys to fly into Indy. It certainly makes sense for me to fly out to places, but we just got to figure out a way to do it. So YouTube, Janelle is asking, Janella, I think, says, help getting back to tracking. I think that's probably a common question, right? How do you get back to tracking? Not an easy question in that regard. And so here's a couple things I can tell you. And as first of all, nothing I can say will get you back to tracking. It goes back to your why. It goes back to trusting the program. Does the program work? Yes or no? Yes, it does. Do you believe that the program works? Okay, you should. Do you believe you can do it? That's where the question comes into play. I believe you can do it. And I believe you have to want to be able to do it. And I believe you have all the tools necessary to do it. So getting back to tracking really focuses around why are you doing this? And is this the method you're going to lose to reach whatever goal you set? So the first goal first question I ask you in the 5 questions is what are you hoping, what are you expecting to get out of this journey? And so as you ask yourself that question, generally speaking, it's I want to be healthier, I want to lose weight, I want to get fit, I want to, there is something, I want you to go a little more detailed than that, but the gist is you have a plan with what your expectations are on this journey. Now, once you've set those expectations, you have to develop a plan around how to meet them. There are many different ways to be successful in this program. It's a thing I tell you all the time is my weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. It wasn't until I switched my focus to why that I truly transformed myself. So when I found why I was doing it, I was able to figure out there's a whole bunch of tools out there. And one of the tools that I use, certainly the predominant of my weight loss journey is certainly Weight Watchers and tracking, because that tool provided me the framework to have the success to reach the goal that I had of the expectation that I had out of the journey. So how do you get back to tracking? You get back to tracking by recognizing that tracking is part of the plan that you set. The plan is for you to accomplish a goal, and unless you have a different plan, then you need to be tracking. Tracking works. If you have a different plan and that's working for you to help you accomplish a goal, then you don't need to. You can do whatever that is to help you reach whatever goal that you set. So getting back to tracking is you have 2 options. You can either you can set yourself up with here's my expectation. You follow it up with what's the plan. If you don't have a plan, you're not going to meet the expectation. If you can develop your own plan and it's working for you, follow that and do that. If that's not working, trust this plan does work and just trust it. So very cool. Tonda's here from Richmond, Virginia. Good evening to you. Cheryl is here. Jeannie's from Louisiana. Let's see, scrolling through. I'm going to kind of skip around, so if I skip your name, I apologize. Angela. And so here, Facebook has got a glitch. For some reason, I can't. If you type a very long comment, I can only see about 20 words. So Angela says, going to join Weight Watchers on Monday. I can only do online only due to work schedule. I am nervous, is what it looks like. Angela, congratulations. Let's start with that. I can't read the rest of your questions, and I apologize, but congratulations on making the decision. And online only works. I know a ton of people who are super successful with online only. So congrats on making that decision. Yeah, Jan says a lot of Illinois and Minnesotans, correct? Yep. Maria, welcome to the live show. Oh, cool. Mandy said I ran into Becky on Sunday at church. It was cool to see another person that you met through you. Yeah, that's the cool thing about the international tour. That there's a couple things that I did not anticipate and or expect. One of them was, I didn't understand that when we would gather together, that you guys would meet each other in your own neighborhood, and then you would form friendships long after I disappeared. That was super duper cool. And that's probably my favorite part of the entire thing. Syracuse, Kathy's checking in. Candy says the costs are real. Appreciate your honesty. Yep. You're welcome. Yeah, I'm not. It's cool, but it ends up being close to $1,000 to $1,200 for me to visit every city. By the time because again, I'm not confident I can make it, so I'm buying airline tickets. And I'm just sharing this because Candy asked, the very first one, my plane ticket was $670 to get to Mississippi for the day. I was there less than 24 hours. That plus hotel room plus rental car to turn around and come right, because my work trip was canceled. And so, it's no big. It is a big deal, but in that sense, it's absolutely worth it. So the plan is to find someone who wants to cover it. Really, there's plenty of sponsors out there. We gotta let them know that this community appreciates their effort and their support, and they'll cover the cost for us. We'll get that done. So, Pam says, clown's checking in. Hi, everyone. Pam sent me the awesome clown hat. It's right there. Maybe I'll put it on if we go long. You have to stick around for that. Billy, good evening, sir. Can't wait to see you. Let's see, scrolling through. Let's see if I can get to some of your comments. Jessica says, as a leader, did you set a new weight goal since you started weightlifting? So here's the deal. I get asked this question a lot. I'm not interested in satisfying a program. That's not where my brain is now. And I what I say is, I got down to a healthy, or unhealthy. I think unhealthy. I got down to 173, 174 pounds, something along that. At the time, I liked it. I was like, "Yay, I made goal," and I was very happy. And then I started weightlifting, and I got like real muscles and stuff, and I never had muscles in my entire life. And so as I'm now developing muscle, I've shared this openly and honestly. I've developed some muscle, which is now the muscle mass is causing me to it speeds up your metabolism. I need more food as I go through that, so I'm having to eat more of my fitness points. I'm balancing that piece out. But no, so the goal for me as an employee, the rules are had to have maintained or lost 10% of your body weight and maintain that for 12 weeks. I satisfy all program requirements for an employee doing that. If they change the program requirements, I'll make the decision on whether or not I want to continue employment based on the requirements they set for employment. But I'm well within the guidelines for employment, and now I'm living a happy, healthy, balanced life that really excites me. So am I at the pound per pound where I was on when I hit my goal at 170 pounds? No, absolutely not. And I'm 100% okay with that. So I think that mentally, I'm more thrilled than I've ever been, which is the cool part. Nathan says, Nathan calls me Mr. Daggett. Nathan, you don't have to call me Mr. Daggett. We're like buds and stuff. What do you say we do a 5K together to help raise money for Folds? Yeah, I'm in always. I like you guys may or may not know. So I manage the Indiana chapter here for the Folds of Honor Foundation. We raise tons of money for children and spouses who have so painfully lost someone on the battlefield. We convert those dollars that we raise into scholarship. Nathan is one of our scholarship recipients, so salute to you, sir, and your family. You guys, you mean the world to me. Your mom has a special place in my heart. I hope you're doing well in school. So, but anyway, let's do a 5K together for sure. Let's figure it out. I think I'll have to come visit you because it sounds like it's warmer where you are than where I'm at for sure. Sheena says, any thoughts on coming to San Diego? San Francisco is about as close as I'm going to get. I'm not a geography major, so I don't know how far those two are, but I certainly know San Francisco and San Diego are closer than Indianapolis and San Francisco are. So November 10th, I will be in San Francisco is the plan. Let's see. Kathy says she switched to Facebook. Got it. Joyce says, I guess you can count you'll be in Indy. Yes, generally speaking, I'll be in Indy. But, I like coming out and visiting. I think it's fun. It really is fun. Let's see, Joliet, Illinois, Ohio Rocks. Yep. Travis. Yay, Travis. Ooh, Travis and Wendy are both coming out here for our gala on November 3rd. So, yep. Kelly says, will I stay in Indianapolis post-retirement? Yes, that is the plan. So it hasn't always been the plan, I'll be honest there. When we first moved here, the plan was to get back to Texas as quick as possible. But now we've developed such a community here. Like I said, I manage a foundation here in the state. We raise, hundreds of thousands of dollars annually for the Folds of Honor Foundation. And so no plans on leaving Indianapolis at all at this point. So, but I will, if the greatest job offer in the world and someone calls whatever, then sure, I will entertain all offers, but my heart wants to stay connected to what I'm doing, and I'm doing it successfully from here. So, Franny said, how do you handle the days when everything seems so overwhelming? I've held strong to my habits and my tracker. My tracker is my best friend, but wow. Yeah, so I'm actually in the middle of some of that at the moment. There's a lot going on that you guys have no idea about, and that's fine. It's not to be shared in that sense, but there's a lot going on here, and it is completely overwhelming at times. How do I stay strong? I trust in me. I trust in the program. I trust in the habits that I built. I still recognize things that are different in my life now that are different than what I used to do. And so I rely on the new habits that I built to know that, you know what, yes, this is overwhelming. Yes, this is different. But think of all the things that I've done properly that I would have done differently years ago. And so I just, okay, I'll get through the day. Tomorrow morning I'll wake up and I will just keep building on those habits. So, kind of cool. One of the habits today was, I don't know if you saw it probably on Twitter, but Nokia, who now switched back to Withings. Withings is again, for a long time that was my favorite company. I found them long before they found me, and so I had their product, and they've released a new product today, and instantly, without even hesitation, I purchased it. I mean, that's just a healthy habit of, hey, I want a new fitness tracker. Whereas before, a fitness tracker would have been one of those things like, I don't need one of those. So I can't wait for it to get here. I bought it today. Woo! Let's see, scrolling through. Let's see. Yeah. Judy says hello. Let's see if I can get back to. Lauren says first time here live. Woo! Very nice. Let's see. Hi, Kelly. Kelly must be here. Kelly, hey. Yep. Hi, Kelly. How are you, sir? Good evening, Mike. Let's see. Dana says good evening. Got it. Sue from Minnesota. Good evening. Hi, Heather again. Ginger, I have a cruise on Friday and I'm nervous about gaining. So this comes up a lot too. The great question, right? I have a cruise this weekend. I have a vacation this weekend. I'm going to a football game. I'm going on a family reunion. I'm going to whatever. How do I, I'm nervous about gaining. So think about this, right? I have a couple different, and this is 100% my advice. And so you're gonna have to figure out what works for you. But if it's an event that you don't do daily, like a cruise. If you go on a cruise every weekend, it's a totally different strategy than if you go on a cruise once a year. So if you go on a cruise once a year, which is the assumption I'm going to make, or less, if you are going on that cruise less than once a year, then what I want you to do is I want you to trust yourself, trust your habits, and enjoy your cruise. So it's up to you. You can decide to lose weight, gain weight, maintain weight while you're on your cruise. Make that decision ahead of time. And then stick to a plan that allows you to do that. So if your plan is to lose weight, then you have to be good at weighing everything, measuring everything, tracking everything, just like you always did. Nothing changes. If your goal is to maintain your weight, then maybe what you do is you reset your tracker to add more points in so you can enjoy a couple more things. If your goal is to gain weight and not care, then you do what you need to do, but you enjoy the time that you're on your cruise, but you develop a plan for the day I come back. Here is how I'm going to reset, and have a strategy for when, as soon as I get back, I'm back into my groove, back using my healthy habits. Most people find that if you're doing well on the program and you're having success on the program, that even when you go on a cruise, you will make healthier choices than you would have had you gone on the cruise 2, 3, 4 years ago. And just rely on your trust, knowing that you can do it. Marcia says, how do you manage your time? I'm fighting right here. I manage my time with this guy right here. So yeah, this is I bought a new planner, which works well. And so this was yesterday. I have to open each day, put it in. I read a great quote a couple days ago, and I found out that I'm doing the exact same thing. I don't multitask. I work on blocks of things, and then I go and work on other blocks of things. And so I have to be very deliberate with my time. Kim says Houston needs you. I'm gonna be in Houston in I think, did we say January or February? I'll be in Houston, so keep an eye out for that. Amy says, sneaking in for a quick minute. Hi, Amy. Amy, are you? If you're, I can't tell if you're still here, but I could drink the water, Amy. Here, we'll do a cheers for Amy. Ready, Amy? There you go, Amy. That's how you do it. Just like that. All right, scrolling through. So I have two things here. Let's see. Patty is asking, do you pre-track? Do you usually have set breakfast, lunches, dinners that are go-to, and then rarely have expectations, or do you just go with what you feel like for that meal? I do a combination of both. So breakfast is about the same every day. It's either a protein bar and a piece of fruit, an apple, banana. That's pretty much my routine. Depending on the protein bar, it's either 4 or 7 points. I know that in my head, and so that's 99% of the time. That's what I'm having for breakfast. Lunch is almost always pre-planned. There's 4 or 5 different options that I generally do for lunch. I'm going to go to Chick-fil-A, have grilled nuggets. I'm going to go to Subway. I'm going to go to Jimmy John's. Subway, I'm going to have half a sandwich. Jimmy John's, same thing. I'm going to take a sub, cut it in half, rip the bread out, move the meat to the other side, have a 7-point lunch at Jimmy John's. Let's see. That's kind of the kind of my go-tos. Dinner, there's a handful of places we go pretty regularly that I know the points of, and so generally speaking, I do a lot of routine things. When things come up, I just kind of balance them off, trying to help get them to offset. If I know ahead of time that I'm going there, then certainly I'll make adjustments during the day earlier to accommodate. But I kind of really just go. I don't pre-track in that sense with I already know what I'm having for dinner tomorrow night. I don't have a clue what I'm having for dinner tomorrow night. I'll figure that out tomorrow night. But I also know that there's probably only about 5 or 6 places that legitimately we're going to go to. If we go to dinner tomorrow night, there's probably Megan will say McAllister's. Janine will say let's eat here because that's what she always chooses. I'll say let's go to but there's a burger place called Bub's down the street. Then sometimes we'll agree that we'll all go to Chick-fil-A. So there may be, and then we'll hit a Panera on occasion, but there may be like 7 places that if we were going to go to dinner tomorrow night that we would pick. And all those places, I know what I can eat to be within in my healthy range and plan for the day. So it's not stressful in that regard. I just make it work. Candy says, would it help if make the trip to someone gifted you with airline miles? Free flights is a start. Yes, it would, but that's awful generous. Don't worry about it. But no, what would truly help is honestly, the Patreon community gives me a budget to work with. That really is the biggest helpful. And so, those of you in there, that little bit or that money, I guess, is what I use to really kind of forecast budget, but I'm also paying for equipment and what stuff out of that. So I don't know what would help. What would help is some big sponsor saying we want to sponsor the tour. That would be really, really helpful. So Lacey says, how do you stay down when you're at your lowest? I think that plays mind games when you get there. So this is the hardest part. So you get to. I want you to get to a place where mentally you're happy. I've said this before. I weigh myself every single day. It is one tiny component to my entire journey. So for those of you who follow it, obviously I tweet it every morning. It goes to Twitter automatically. It goes to Facebook automatically. If you're strictly judging my success based on that number, you're missing out on an awful lot of my life. And I'm okay with that. And I put it out there knowing that is probably going to be confusing for a lot of people because you can't see everything else that's going on in my life. I can't possibly share every single thing I got going on. But I share that is because that's what most of us get hung up on, and that's what most of us allow ourselves to either determine or prove or derail our success. So I share that so that you can see that it's not every single day the exact same number. There were this week alone, I was down to 202, and then it jumped up to 210, 211 in the course of like 2 days. So I need you to see that, and I need you to see that I don't care about that because I'm still wearing this medium shirt. I'm still very happy. Sure, could I be more ripped in tone? Sure. I'm 45 years old, happily married. I'm okay. Mentally, I'm solid and locked in, and so that's the piece that I'm really celebrating. So Tinley Park, Jan says hi to Sharon in Tinley Park. Corey and Corinne says tracking of the choice. Amy is asking, I can't see all of your comment. Amy's asking, Mike, do you follow the freestyle program now? I think it's healthier but harder than previous plans. So here's my deal on freestyle. Right when freestyle came out, and I put this post on Connect and I put it on Facebook. The way I track now is different than the way I tracked when I lost weight. So here's what I understand about freestyle. This will get complicated and it'll probably get too long, and I'll probably lose a lot of you, and I apologize. But here's how I handle freestyle for me. The list of 200 point foods. I'm a very very picky eater. So of all the things that are on the list of 200 0 point foods, I eat about a dozen of them, right? Maybe, and I'd have to pull the list out to see if it's even that many. So freestyle as a concept, as a structured program, doesn't work for me and my picky eating, right? I couldn't survive off that. But I understand where they're going with it, and I love the concept behind it, because the things that what freestyle has taught me to do is there are things that I'm now willing to try that I would never have tried before because they're 0 points. But what it also taught me was, if you're going to arbitrarily label chicken as 0 points, when we all know chicken has calories, if you're going to label that arbitrarily, I can't say that, arbitrarily at 0 points, then what you're saying is you're giving me the ability to figure out how much moderation I need to eat food called chicken. So I've applied that to other foods that I've made foods that I eat regularly. I have labeled them 0 points in my head and saying, Mike, this may not be 0 points, but in this small quantity, if you only had it once or twice a month, it's not going to impact your journey. So that's it. So yeah, I'm still very much aware of points. I'm still very much aware of what eating in 3 different meals a day, getting a lot more fruit than I ever had, trying to get more vegetables. But I now have tuned into my needs way better to understand that for me, moderation is the key, and I now have the ability to self-moderate, something I never had before, and so that's kind of fun for me. Let's see, scrolling through. Diane says, I am now 6 months on Lifetime. How do you stop bad habits from creeping in? Diane, that's a tough question. So how do you stop them? Is you stop them by understanding the cool things in your life that you're able to do now that you weren't able to do when you're overweight. It really does require you to write them down and remind yourself often of all the things you can do now that you couldn't do before. And that when make that list of, I can run a 5K in this time. I can do this, or I can walk a 5K in this time. And when they quit being true, that's when you have to reel back in. So if you wake up every single morning loving yourself, happy with yourself, and loving what you're doing, then that's it. And the bad habits will certainly quickly let you know that those things aren't true anymore. So you just kind of stay with it. Yeah, Danielle says, I just ran my quickest mile since surgery. Way to go. Way to go. Angela says, thanks for your podcast, your inspiration. You're very, very welcome. Let's see. Scrolling through. See if I find something else to just chat with. Debbie says, we are 2 years at maintenance. I know. Yep. Today, September 20th, is 2 years since I hit goal, which is very cool. Kim says, when you retire, buy an RV and travel. I know. Holly says, that's why you need more talk shows to pay for you. I agree. So the trip to New York, so that's a perfect example. My trip to New York was 100% paid for by the TV show. They paid for the airfare, they paid for the hotel, they gave me a stipend to cover some incidental expenses, and they paid for the taxi. So not getting rich off it by any means, but I am in a sense where it enabled me to go visit a city I've never been to, enabled me to hang out with 30 people I've never met before, and all of that was paid for because someone took the time to fly me to that city, which I think was absolutely amazing. So yes, I absolutely need more of that. Let's see. Yeah, I wish I could figure out why I can't see more comments. Cheryl says, I know that you'll know. I know you say you'll know when you get to goal. I'm starting to get close, but I think were, and I can't read the rest of it. So my guess is what you're asking is that let me think what I can kind of guess. So let me rephrase that. When you getting to goal is all mental. You can get to goal long before the scale knows it. I talked with the person tonight. She's at goal. The scale doesn't believe it, and I don't care what the scale believes. Mentally, she is focused. She's dialed in. She's completely changed her life. Nothing will stop her from hitting a weight loss goal because she's fully focused and dialed in. That's the place I want to get you to. I don't want you to celebrate when the scale confirms it. I want you to celebrate when you mentally are locked in saying, I've changed my life. I'm doing things now I wouldn't have done in the past, and I'm regularly, consistently doing them. I talked to another gal earlier tonight, and she said, I'm going to get up tomorrow morning. I'm going to go to the gym. And then she said, and I told my husband that if I'm not out of bed by this time, then to be a nag, push me out of the bed. And what I wanted to know is like, that's not goal. Goal is when you get up on your own and want to go work out, and no one needs to wake you up to go to the gym. If someone needs to wake you up to push you out and kick you out and go to the gym, then mentally, yet you're not there, or that's not how you're going to be there. So I want you to get to a point where you're happy, healthy, doing things that you want to do that align with your goal of being healthier and fit. So that's it. Keith is asking. Keith is leading me. Are you excited about the new Steel HR Sport as a tool? I am, Keith. So you guys know this, right? So Nokia, which is now Withings, phenomenal supporters, love them. I have the Nokia Steel HR that they sent me. I loved it. I use it for my daily step count. I'm not wearing it at the moment, but I use it for my daily step count. I love that. When I go to run, I use my Garmin because I like the GPS in the Garmin. And Keith is asking about the Steel HR Sport they released today. Has a GPS companion that ties to your phone. So I'm truly excited to see if my daily wear watch can turn into my my activity watch as well. So Donna said, "Did you see Nokia sold the skills back to the original?" Yes, that's what we just talked about. Very, very cool. Claudia, how important is water consumption? I've cut way back on artificial sweeteners, and water is yes. I believe water is key. Water. I drink probably 4 or 5. No, I bet you I have more than that. I bet you I drink probably 6 or 7 of these a day. Water. It's the only thing I drink. Water, and then occasionally I'll have those sparkling ice drinks, but I really just prefer water. Let's see. Scrolling through. Well, I'm just now catching up to that. Let's see. Gloria says San Diego to San Francisco about an 11-hour drive. See, California's big. Yeah, see, I can't, Lori, I can't see all of your comment. Lori says I weight train 3 times and do cardio 3 to 5 times. Weight is not going down, but clothes are getting smaller. And I can't see the rest of your comment. But yeah, that's a good goal too. So weight training, super duper important. If you're not strength training, I would encourage you to add some strength training in. Strength training builds muscle. Muscle increases your metabolism. Muscle helps your skeletal system stay intact. I'm way happier with, I don't even know, 10, 15, 20 pounds of muscle, whatever I have. I feel way more fit and athletic and healthy with some decent muscle mass. So continue your weight training. The scale may not move, but your clothing size certainly does. So a pound of muscle takes up the same space as 4 pounds of fat. So you could have, let's say, and I'm guessing, but let's say this is 4 pounds of fat. 1 pound of muscle will be, much more condensed. So you could weigh the same, but be 4 times smaller, and that's okay. So if your clothes are getting better and looking better, then keep rocking. Let's see, scroll through. Anything else, you guys? So I've just kind of, like I said, just the format tonight, we're just really just hanging out. Yeah, it looks like I'm way behind on your comments, so that's fine. Yeah, Melly says, so it's open mic night. Yep, it's, that's, but I'm shh. Bev says, I'm nervous because we're having potluck at work Friday and I just got back on track. What advice do you give? Very easy. I think bring a lunch. if you're worried about it, bring a lunch and skip everything. It's truly that simple. Whatever you bring to the event, make sure you know the point value in it. Make sure it's something you want. Make sure it's something that'll fill you up, and just ignore everything else there. Just because they're having a potluck doesn't mean you need to eat it. If you want to participate, then small portions of the ones you want to try, 2 to 3 bites of everything to try something, and that would be about it. But you don't need 10 plates of everything. Take very, very, very small portions. But my advice and the strategy I would have used in that scenario is I would have brought a lunch that day and stood around socializing with different goals. Let's see, scrolling through. Maria says maybe you can ask the Wise Wingman for ideas for meals today. Yep, that's a good idea. That Wise Wingman group. If you're not in the Wise Wingman Facebook group, it's a great group. I'm in there. I read a lot of your comments. I don't have time to answer a lot of them, but I read into there daily. It's a fantastic group. Scrolling through. Sorry. There we go. Let's see, Martin says, hi, Mike. Off tomorrow, so I get to watch you live. Yay! Martin, you get up too early, I bet. Still struggling lately with the scale. No, don't worry. Don't struggle with the scale. You got this. You know that. It's just a temporary deal. All right, let's scroll through. Jan says, Mike, am I cheating by wearing my Fitbit on my ankle? I have no idea. Jason, woo! I have no idea if the Fitbit works on your ankle or not. No idea. So I suspect it probably doesn't, is my guess. But I don't know. Well, just test it, right? So, put it on your ankle and, well, actually, let me back up. Let me give you a better answer. Here's what I'm thinking. Let's say you put it on your ankle, right? And it tells you get 200,000 steps today, which we know is impossible, right? Because it's inaccurate. Well, so we'll know that you didn't get 200,000 steps, but then you put it on your ankle tomorrow and you get 10,000 steps. Okay, well, that means you didn't move nearly as much. You moved a fraction of the amount of time you moved the day before. So put it on it's just data, right? So there's no rule that says 10,000 steps is the magic number. The magic number is you being consistent in your activity. So if you put it on your ankle and you get 1 million steps, then your goal is 1 million steps with it on your ankle. When you put it on your wrist and you get 10,000 steps, your goal is 10,000 steps with it on your wrist. So you're not cheating as long as you're tracking it, you're not cheating. That's what I'm going to go with. Let's see. YouTube had a comment that I want to see. Jessica says, I've been telling food pushers no, and it's working. That's exactly it. Our society, as awesome as it is, our society believes that food is we all have to hang around food, and everything we do revolves around food. So make your own goals, and you don't have to have food. Sorry, you have to have food, but you don't have to have their food. Coletus, do you refill your water bottles? Yep. Well, no, I don't actually. My beautiful wife refills them. I drink them and then leave them all over the house wherever I'm done drinking it, and she runs around, collects them, fills them up, and puts them back in the fridge. So, yes. So someone refills them. Yes. I used to buy bottled water, and I thought it made more sense to just refill them. So we do. Let's see. Jason says 7 weeks Sunday to my New York City Marathon. Very nice, Jason. Very cool. Lori says, should I worry about not losing lately? I wouldn't worry. That's not the term I would use. I would evaluate on what your goal is and figure out if the progress you're having is okay. Figure out why figure out what's causing that. If it's muscle mass we talked about earlier, then congratulations. If it's guys, if you're tracking accurately, if you're eating on plan or not, right? And so many people I think go, oh, it's not working for me, but in the back of their head they're like, because I'm not tracking, or because I'm overeating, or because I'm taking too many extra bites. So if you're not losing and you're also saying, yeah, because I'm not tracking, then yeah, you should be worried about that. But if you're doing everything properly, it'll work. Now there is a slight chance that you could believe you're doing everything properly and you're actually not. There's a small portion of folks who is that, but the most of the people, it's just, you can't track five. I mean, you saw my numbers, right? I guess why I hop on the scale every day. I weighed myself on, down to 202. The next day it was like 209. One meal out to dinner. I forget where we went now. We went somewhere. I had a really nice meal. And the next day it was a 7 or 8 pound gain. I forget what it was. 7 or 8 pound gain overnight. I knew it, didn't care, didn't bother me. I knew exactly what it was. But so the reason I share that is because if that's you, if you're tracking really, really good for 5 days and eating really, really bad for 2 days, and your expectation is to lose weight, you may be completely undoing it. And so in my case, my expectation isn't to lose weight at this point. I have no expectations of me losing weight. My expectations are me to live a happy, healthy, balanced weight life exactly where I'm at now. And so I'm doing that and doing that successfully. But if your expectation is to lose weight and you're tracking very good for 5 days, eating bad for 2 days, you're probably those 5 days you're just working your tail off to get just back to where you were. And so that if that's you or not. And so if that's your expectation, then move on. If it's not your expectation, then sure. I love God and Dog says, I know that is true. It sounds like, yeah, so we know. Yeah, so Denise says, weight training vastly helped my running and cycling. Weight training is so important. I think, I heard I met with a trainer today. I don't know if he's online, but I met with a trainer. I'm looking at switching trainers, and he was telling me that weight training, how did he word it? He once said that, that the fitness levels and improvements you get from adding weight training, it's so important. And a lot of women in particular are afraid of weight training because you're afraid you're going to turn into this He-Man bulk beast. And the level of intensity that it takes to get to there is out of most of our grasp. You're not going to be a beast accidentally. It's deliberate work. Those people who are shredded, who have muscles out to here, who are not an ounce of body fat, that is as extreme as what we were doing on the opposite side of overeating. So just live somewhere in the middle, build up muscle, but you're not going to look bulky. It's actually going to look good. And so weight training is certainly something I would recommend. Yep. Melody says, love that you said recently about not making specific weight loss goals. But big believer in that, right? So, and it happened to me. I set a goal. I wanted to be, I think I wanted to be 70 pounds down is what I think I can't remember the exact number, but it was 2 years ago. I had a goal by one of our golf events. I wanted to be at a certain weight before the golf event. And I said, I have to hit this number before the event. And the week or two before, I was stressing and I was trying very, very, very hard to hit this number and I missed it. I woke up that morning of the golf event. I got on my scale and I was trying so hard to hit it and I missed it by like a pound. And I forget the exact, so I'm somewhat paraphrasing here, but I woke up that morning, put on a 32-inch pair of pants, put on a medium shirt. I looked fantastic, put on a 31-inch belt, and I was a pound over my weight loss goal. And for the entire day, I was thinking, man, I missed my goal. And it was a little bit disappointing. And at that point, I was down 70 pounds. Okay. And so now I don't want you to celebrate. I don't want you to start to focus on a time goal. I want you to focus on being healthy. So if you say I must lose 30 pounds in October, right? And so by Halloween, I want to be 20 pounds down by Halloween. And you say, okay, and then October comes, Halloween comes, and you're 19.5 pounds down. Yay! Right? That's congratulations. But no, your head goes, well, you know what? I know it's 19.5, but I really wanted to be 20. And so So I suck at this. And so, no, I don't want you to do that. Give up the timeline goal. I want you to work very hard. I want you to stay focused. I want you to dial in and get it done. I want you to really, really, really go after it. But I don't want you to say this amount by this date. I don't want that. I don't want you to have that, because you can't control that, right? That's, if I said everybody, okay, right now, everybody lose 23.6 pounds in October, none of you would be able to hit that on the nose deliberately. It just wouldn't work. So what I want you to do is by the end of October, what I want you to do is I want you to track for 30 days. I want you to hit the gym for 25 days. I want you to meal prep for 6 days. I want you to whatever goals that you set in your journey that are working on making you healthier, I want you to hit those goals. You can actually accomplish them. I asked someone the other day, they said, I said, what's your goal? I said, I want to lose 20 pounds in October. I said, how are you going to do that? They said, well, I'm going to do that by tracking. I'm going to do that by riding my bike. I'm like, okay, we'll make those the goal. I want to ride my bike 7 days a week. I want to ride my bike 21 days this month. I want to ride 2 miles every time I get on my bike. Whatever it is, that is your goal. Track those goals, and you will get to where you need to be. Lori, good evening to you. Let's see. Okay, we're back to ankle tracking on the Fitbit. Very fun. Lori says, from your friendly biology teacher, got it. Water is way better. So Lori, that's exact. So Lori summed it up again. So she goes, I'm great during the week. Weekends are my downfall. Right. So if you're great during the week and the weekends are your downfall, then what you're doing is you're undoing 5 days of work on 2 days of eating. And then, so you're only working to keep the scale in the same. Those last 2 days are super important if you want to have progress. If you want to make progress, it takes 7 full days of effort. And then you have to start over with 7 more days. Every time you pause for a day or two, you're easily giving up, depending on how bad you pause, you're easily giving up 5 to 6 to 7 to 8 to even sometimes 14 days worth of effort. You can undo 14 days of work in a weekend, easily, based on the scale and the scale alone. That you can do. So if you're tracking very hard for 5 days and then you're not doing it for 2, you're going to just kind of, Alyssa says flex. Okay, here you go. I don't have no flex. Huh. Beth says weekends are hard for me. Evenings are hard for me. Yep. So all this revolves around the same thing. Let's see. Yeah, muscle takes less room than fat. Yep. Very cool. Alyssa says better than Connor. I don't know who Connor is. All right, so let's go. Corinne says, thank you, Mike, for inspiring us to be the best versions of us. That's all I really want. Robin, 1 week into maintenance, congratulations. So far, learning good. Maintenance is fun. So maintenance gives you the opportunity to figure this thing out. Oh, gotcha, Conor McGregor. Maintenance gives you the option to figure this out. So during your week of maintenance, you get to learn what's working, what doesn't work, so you can kind of start trusting yourself a little more. And so at the end of your maintenance period, you just weigh in and you're going to be A-OK. Lynette says, they need to stop pausing. Yep. Sharon says 10 steps forward, 20 steps back. That's exactly what you're doing if you undo it on the weekend. It really, and it's important. I think a lot of us, it's not day for day, it's not 5 days good, 2 days bad, which means that you were good for 5 days. That's not how it works. So you can undo an entire week and sometimes 2 weeks on a single weekend. So IG is Instagram. There we go. So, okay, so that's I'm at the bottom of the comment. So if I skipped yours, it means I just didn't see it. It can certainly come back, but so that's kind of this was really just catching up, seeing on how you're doing. Obviously, not a super duper exciting show, not a super duper motivating show. Wasn't the intent. The intent was just kind of to catch up. Robin says, Dag, I hear your voice so often in my head, reminding me what to do. So, Robin, You can do this. You totally can do this. So, um, very, very, very cool. Keep up the great work. It's important work. It's fun work. It's so doable. Instagram, we're going to time out in 6 seconds, 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Good night. Thank you for being here. If you want me to reboot, I'll reboot Instagram just for 20 minutes or so. I'm going to reboot Instagram. Let me just reboot. There we go. Rebooting. Amanda says, I am 11.2 pounds from goal, working to stay focused and motivated. Thanks for your help and guidance. Very, very welcome. But so guidance is all it is, and you're really doing it. That's the piece. Saw the post I put on Facebook earlier. The piece I need you to understand is that you are doing the work, right? It's not me. When this episode, whenever this is done, it's over. And you have to then hang up your phone, put your phone away, and then you have to go make the right decisions until I come back on. So, that's the piece I just really want you to understand, is that you're doing the hard work. PJ, I fired up Instagram back up, so it's good to go. Becky says, just got free, so glad you're still here. We are still here. Looking, I'll stay for a minute or two more. If we're just going to chat, if you got specific questions, this is the format is just ask me whatever. What's working for you? Tell me what your celebrations are. We'll share them. Whatever you want to talk about, we'll do that for the next, 10, 15 minutes or so. And then certainly we're out. Marcia, you're welcome. I can't wait to chat with you, Marcia. Marcia and I have a phone conversation. Yay. It'll be kind of fun. So you'll see. Robin says your date in Tampa next year. It looks like it's August 1 through 4 is the plan. I'm coming in for another conference. The Obesity Action Coalition National Conference is in Tampa, August 1 through 4. So I will come in to Tampa as of right now. That's the plan. Oh yeah, Barbara, thank you for reminding me. So Barbara says, what is the biggest reason that people leave the program or fall off the plan? My opinion alone. The number one reason I believe that people quit doing this, fall off the program, there's actually two things. So I'm not sure which one's number one or two, but here's the deal. Two things happen. We know the program works. We believe the program works. We wouldn't keep paying money into a program that we didn't believe worked. So we know it works. So what happens is we join a program, we start having success. When we start the program, we're miserable, we're upset, we're angry, we hate ourselves, or at least in my experience. Our pants are tight. We just hate a lot about it. The program does work. So therefore, it doesn't take long for the pants that you're wearing, when you lose 5 to 10 to 15 pounds, your pant size changes. So generally at that point, people aren't buying new pants, that the pants that were already too small actually now fit properly and you feel better. And so when you get to that point in your journey, let's say you want to lose 50 pounds, you lose 10 or 15, your pants now fit good. A lot of people then at that point forget what tight pants feels like, forget that it was miserable, and then say, okay, I'm done. They believe they can handle it. The feeling of feeling better quickly overwhelms them. So that's why I want you to write down your why, because I want you to reread the misery that you felt day one when you joined, so you don't have to go back and relive it. That's one of the reasons people fall off the plan. The other reason people fall off the plan is exactly what we were talking about earlier, is that they track for 5 days and they kill themselves for 5 days of starving themselves, and then on the weekend they go, you know what? Or the day they weigh in, a lot of people leave weigh in and they go out to dinner and they eat all their weeklies the night after weigh in because they've been starving all themselves all week. And that can work for 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 weeks or so. You can do that you can do that for 3 or 4 months. But the reality is at some point you can't sustain that. So most people, the other people, they quit because that lifestyle becomes unmanageable. They can't starve themselves 5 days a week and then eat on the weekend, because two things happen. One, you can't live like that. But two, more importantly, they get frustrated and not seeing the results that they expect because they're not putting in the work that they think they're putting in. And therefore, they just get completely frustrated with the whole process and say, forget it, it's not working, when in reality, it was working. Yeah, funny. A healthy weight says, "What is the DiGiorno pizza you mentioned in an earlier podcast? I can't seem to find that one. That Low Point pizza." So, a healthy weight. That particular episode was recorded on April 1st. I hope that helps you find it. Um, yeah, April 1st was the date that I recorded that episode of the, was it a Low Point pizza? I forget what it was even was, but I made up, there you go. I made up the entire thing on April 1st. I get that question in my inbox a ton. I wish I could develop this pizza because I could be a gazillionaire selling this pizza that I marketed. I get that question, it seems like once a week, from someone asking where to find this DiGiorno pizza. Yeah, it was recorded on April 1st. Sorry. Um, yeah, yeah, and that's exactly the same response. She goes, "Got me. I spent a lot of time searching. I know. Part of me wants to go back and delete that episode because I do. I mean, I get that question so often. Part of me really wants to go back and just delete it, but then the other part of me is it makes me laugh, and laughter is fun, you know. So, but it'll be okay. It'll be okay. Oh, too funny. April 1st. And I didn't do anything this year. And that's, it's funny, this April, I didn't do anything like that because I was like, man, last year, that was 2 years ago I recorded that. A year and a half, I guess. So this year, this April, I'm like, I can't do another one because, you know, oh, funny, 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 funny. Um, Yeah, see now Karen says, I thought you just didn't know how to pronounce the name of the pizza. Yep. No, DAG, DAG, like DAG, DAG Giorno instead of DiGiorno. Yeah, it's not delivery, it's DAG Giorno. Funny, funny, funny. Therese, I can't read your entire comment, so shorten it. It says, "Hi, Mike. I haven't watched it live in a while. Been listening to past episodes. Uh, Binging, if you will," and that's as much as I got. Yes, Diane says the Australian pepperoni. Right, Australian pepperoni is not even a thing. So very fun. Yeah, April 1st. Yeah, it's all good, right? We had fun with it. So, all right. Let's wrap this up. If there's anything else, hot things that are burning in your desire, we'll spend a couple minutes. But other than that, um, yeah, I can't see. Yeah, I mean, so I get three. I get three comments at a time, and so that's all I can see is three at a time. So Marcia says, "You got me with a congrats from LeBron on your anniversary. Believed it for a bit." Yeah, LeBron, the Pope wrote in, I think, right? Yeah, very, very, very fun. Oh, Teresa, the only thing I'm binging this week, so thank you. So stop. Easier said than done, right? But set a game plan tomorrow morning. Just set a plan and say, what does tomorrow look like for success? If you're binging right now, then I get it. It happens. Not a big deal in a day or two mindset if you know what the expectations are. So I want you to set a game plan for build a plan. Go look through your tracker, find days that you were successful, build that into your week this week, and yeah, build that into your week this week and follow previous days that have been successful. So, gotcha. Marie says binging on the podcast. Well, that you keep doing. Yes, keep doing that part for sure. Funny. It says I think PJ is upset. So I don't know, PJ. I see your comments. I saw you over on Instagram earlier. I was answering you. So. Okay, so I'm not sure. Anyway, let's see what else. Good night, whoever. PJ, you're leaving, so I got it. See ya. At least those congrats weren't from the real celebrities. No, they were from you guys writing in and pretending to be. That was something Kirby orchestrated. Kirby orchestrated that whole thing. So I got one from the Pope. I got one from General Goldfein from the Air Force. LeBron got one in. I can't remember all of them now. It was 2 years. I'll have to go back and listen to that episode. Yes. So none of them were from the real people. None of them. You guys are awesome. So this is what's fun about this entire journey, right? Is I can only share with you about this much of everything that's going on, and you pick up bits and pieces, and we just run with it, and we just have fun. It makes us all laugh, which is really kind of fun. Too funny. So yeah, no. If LeBron actually called, that would be kind of cool. Maybe LeBron would finance the 2019 international tour. I think we should ask LeBron. I think he could afford it. I think we should ask LeBron if he wants to support the podcast. What do you think? I think I'm in. So, all right, let me wrap up on that. So thank you for being here. Let's shut this down. I hope this was enjoyable for you. Generally speaking, this is every once in a while we just kind of hang out. There we go. A Healthy Weight says, I'm at the verge of giving up Sirius XM because I'm binging on your podcast. Cool. So let me address that. Cool. I don't have TV at home. I don't watch television. I don't listen to the radio in my car. I bring in content into my world that I deliberately want. To me, the television is, it's not necessarily information I cultivated and want to hear. The radio is the same thing. So it's funny, my family gets mad at me when we go somewhere. Like if you go in my car right now and hop in and go for a ride, the radio is off. It's weird. I drive without the radio because I'm like, I have other things going on. And if I want something deliberate, I will find a podcast or something to listen to. Other than that, no, I don't waste my time letting messages infiltrate my brain that I'm not ready to receive. So give up Sirius. That's what I would say. Give it up and find things deliberately that align with you and help you reach your goals, and only bring that content into your world and stay focused on that. That would be my recommendation. And save yourself $20 a month. Therese says, good night. I'll hear this episode once it's in the app. This one probably won't make it to the app. I promise. I don't know that I'll upload it. So this will only live on Facebook is probably the plan. So very fun. So yeah, A Healthy Weight. So Sirius. I like it. Marcia says, I need your music. No, you don't need you don't need anything. You don't need your music. Shanks girl, we're still here, just slowly leaving. I've been leaving for like 20 minutes. So Corinne says, Mike, have you read You Are the Placebo? I have not. Oh, my phone's over there. I'm going to add it to my list. I have a list of books that I want to read. So no, I have not read it. Give me the Cliff Notes version. Sounds interesting. But think about it, right? So when you're driving, right? So why not use that's whatever time you have in your car. For me, it's 30 minutes a day or an hour round trip. That hour I can be bringing positive messages in my brain instead. When I turn on the radio, what do you get on the radio? You get some person singing, which is cool, right? Yay, makes you happy. And then you get all the updates on every single movie star and how their life is perfect and who's having a baby and who's dating who, and it's just So it's just kind of, so I bring in the messages I want to consume. I deliberately seek out things I want to listen to, and I deliberately bring them in. I don't own I own a television, but we don't have cable. I cut cable years ago. And so when it's time to watch TV, it's deliberate. It's not random. And that gives me, someone asked me earlier how I've used my time. I use my time by not wasting it. By wasting it, sitting in front of the TV, just flipping through the channels, looking for something to watch. So, let's see. Jeannie says, I seem not to find time to read like I want to. Same. I started a daily goal. My little planner has a thing that I do daily. So I started a process of reading like 20 minutes a day, and it didn't. I did it for a few days, and then but my problem is when I read, I really get intense. So I'll go like 3 weeks without reading a book, and then I'll read an entire book overnight, and then I'll go 4 months without reading a book, and I'll read 2 books overnight. So, it's very hard for me to slowly read a book. If I find a book I like, I read a book the other day. I'm not going to show the title of it, but it's a book that was highly recommended to me, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is the greatest book ever! You must read it." And so I dove right in, and so I read the first 5 or 6 chapters. I'm like, "Now this book is terrible," and then it's like, "Okay, maybe it's just me." So then I read like another 3 or 4 chapters. I'm like, "No, this book is terrible." Boom! I quit reading it. A little over 3/4 of the way through, I'm like, "I'm not finishing this book," So I'll find another book to read, but there you go. A Healthy Weight says, I am on fire after listening to your podcast. I'm ready to get it done. Great way to start my workday. That's the I got chastised for this a long time ago. It still kind of chaps me a little bit because I want you to run as fast as you can to get to your goal. And so there are people that disagree with that philosophy. And that's, we're going to always disagree. But I want you to wake up every single day and run as fast as you can, as hard as you can, healthy, happily, and get to goal as quickly as you can. That's my goal for you. And so I want you to get there healthy. I don't want you to be unhealthy. I don't want you to do crazy things that are extreme. I want you to follow the program properly and live a happy, healthy life. But I want you to do it every single day. Here's why. I think it's very important. The reason I believe that is when you get to goal, it feels like nothing else you've ever experienced. The only way to experience that is by getting to goal. And so if you get to goal quickly and you recognize that, oh my goodness, this feels different, you'll have to relearn some things. I get that. You'll have to relearn some things, but you're relearning them from a healthy place, and you're relearning them from a point in your journey where you feel really good about yourself. And you will work very hard to preserve that feeling. If you never get that feeling, you don't know what you're trying to preserve, and you're just kind of floating around lost. It's the difference in my world, and I don't say this with any disrespect, but it's the difference between, is there a finish line to this journey or not? I firmly believe there is absolutely a finish line to a weight loss journey. I believe as soon as you cross that finish line, you sign up for another race, and then that race you run it as fast as you can, or you run whatever you need to do. But life is about a series of goals that you continue to check off and go through, and never giving yourself a goal, something to check off, to me is disservice to yourself. So I want you to go as fast as you can. I want you to run as hard as you can. I want you to get to goal, and when you get there, I want you to set another goal for yourself, and I want you to run as fast as you can, as hard as you can to get that goal. And then when you get there, I want you to set a third goal. So you will always, and what's going to happen is you're going to set a goal 5 years from now, something that you couldn't even foresee today. I don't want you to set a goal from 5 years from now. I want you to set a goal to just do the things you're doing now, and just make progress every single day. So yeah, you should wake up every single morning. And it's kind of like I said earlier in the podcast, is that if someone has to kick you out of bed in the morning to go work out, that's not the right goal for you. Find something you like doing where you wake up on fire wanting to get it done. That's success. Whew. Danielle says, music motivates me. I need it on in my car. Yeah, see, I'm just the opposite. Therese says, I'm reading Girl Wash Your Face. It's awesome. Okay. Cheryl says, wise advice or Dave Ramsey podcast. Yeah, I love Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey's the man. Maria says, I like to enjoy my ride in silence and do my best. Think I'm the same way. Yep. Henry says, what are some podcasts you listen to? I don't listen to many. I listen to mine on occasion just to kind of either just pick up things I may have not said, or reframe some things. Very rarely do I listen to mine though, but I listen to mine probably. I listen to 1 or 2 episodes a month, maybe, of mine just to listen. I listen to a podcast called Success Talks. Success Magazine does a podcast called Success Talks. I listen to that one. I used to listen to Dave Ramsey, listen to him on occasion as well. Listen to Chris Brown on air. Chris talks about, it's a season of life where I'm at now, where I'm transitioning out of the military, looking to do something different, not exactly sure what it is I want to do. So he does like some career advice. But that's really it. I tried to listen to Gary Vee the other day. I like the guy, a lot of respect for the dude. I can't do that many F bombs in my commute. So, but it's fine. That's his voice, and I don't want him to change. I want him to keep doing what he's doing. He's obviously impacting millions. I'm just looking for something, similar message, different delivery. Maria says, have to make it a priority, find a window of time, and use it for reading. Period. Yep, that's totally there. No question, no question. So if you make it a priority, it's easy to do, no matter what it is that you want to do. Yep, I completely agree. So if I had a goal of reading, 2 books a month, I would have to set it as a priority and do it, and then it's very easy to do at that point. Joyce says, listening to music is also choosing to deliberately listen to what you like. Yep, I agree. But I don't think most of us do that, though. I mean, so if you're listening to music, if you're listening to the radio, you're not deliberately listening to music. You're allowing someone to deliberately insert into your brain what they want you to hear. If you're playing your own playlist, cool. But if you're also saying, I like the genre of country music, and that brings you smiles and happy, then enjoy it. I am in no way advocating that you do what I do. I've never, throughout this entire journey, said, here's how to do it. That doesn't work for sure. Lori says, I listen to Funky Town Station on iHeart when I work out. Never heard of it. Alicia says, oh Lord, the amount of books I'm halfway through. Jeannie says, I didn't need that book. I could have written it. That's probably true, because I was reading the book and it was like, I was like, I don't get it. So very fun. Jamie says, I finally got the Noticer. I'm not a reader, but I got it on Audible and it was awesome. I completely agree. It's my favorite book ever. Marcia says, oh, I'm running. I love it. Becky says, I needed this pep talk. Good. Therese, good night. Let's see. Travis says, my wife listens to Fat Dad podcast all the time in the car, as she should. I mean, seriously. Travis, what's up with that? Travis, I hope when you guys drive out here in November, that she plays them the entire way out here, nonstop, and you are submerged into it. Bev says, I've not listened to Dave Ramsey's podcast. What are they about? Dave Ramsey is a financial genius. The dude, the dude was a multi-millionaire as a younger kid, all in real estate. Lost all, the bank called all the notes. He was borrowing money, and he was a multi-millionaire on paper. And so when the bank called and said, I guess I don't know all the details, but they called the notes, and so he went bankrupt like that. So went from $1 million to nothing. Has raised 3 kids, and he believes in the principles very firmly of live like no one else, so that later you can live like no one else. So he encourages you to get out of debt as quick as possible and stay debt free. Based on the principles that he walked the journey. It's very similar to my podcast, and just a completely different subject. I want you to get out of obesity as quick as possible, and then I want you to stay there. And so they're the exact same message, just different subject. Franny says, accidentally pushed the wrong button, and bam, there was Adam. Love the guy, but not his turn. I love Adam too. Adam is awesome. Let's see. There we go. So Travis says, yeah, Travis is laughing because I don't doubt that she will. So, yep. Cool. All right, let's go ahead. I'm gonna go, pop smoke, they say, if it's a military term. But we'll go ahead and get out of here. But thank you guys for being here. Apologize for no show tonight. This is funny. I laugh. This is my 3rd job today, right? So I went to work in the morning. I went to my Weight Watcher meeting tonight, and then now hanging out with you guys tonight. So it's time for me to shut this whole thing down, get to bed, and start it all over tomorrow. So thank you for being here. Thanks for being part of this community. I want to end it the way I posted on Facebook, the way I posted on Connect, and the way I posted on Instagram earlier. So at my meeting tonight, it was a very special meeting. I didn't anticipate it being a special meeting. So September 20th is when I hit goal. So tomorrow, the next day will be 2 years since I hit goal. Very, very special. And I don't track the date. I've lost track of that because I don't believe that matters at this point in my journey. But nonetheless, the people in my meeting room recognize that. And Karen, I love Karen's on tonight, but Karen, you'll recognize her from the episode of her and Trevor, her son Trevor, an amazing young man who was sent to me by God to deliver a message that he was very proud of his mom, and so that family has a very special place in my heart. I forget which episodes they're on, but amazing people. Karen is doing phenomenal. I wish I could share the details of her journey, but I'm telling you, she is incredible. The focus she has, the effort she's put in. Her son is proud of her. To have a college kid proud of his mom, she's doing amazing work. So anyway, so she today she recognized that it was 2 years at a lifetime for me, and she wanted to get me something, and I put it on Facebook, I put it on Connect, but I want to show it to you. So I think it's extremely cool. I'll do it to Instagram first. It says, leaders don't get people to believe in them. Leaders find ways to get people to believe in themselves. I don't know if you can see it on Instagram, Facebook. Here it is as well. And then, of course, you can see my iPad as well. And then YouTube looks like we froze up. But here's what's cool about this is I summarized this on Connect. I summarized it on Facebook. I'm just a regular person, right? And so you guys know that, right? And so I don't feel special. I don't know what the words are, but the gist is I believe you can do this. And if you listen to the episode from Indianapolis, right? And Jennifer shushed me, right? That's kind of funny. She was like, shh, shh, shh. And so she was going on and on and on about, Mike, you changed my life. Mike, you changed my life. Mike, you did. And I was trying to convince her, and I did it during the podcast. I was trying to convince her that I didn't do that. And so what I need you to know, I'm going to end this episode on this. And what I need you to know is that you can do this. It's that simple. And so I'm not going to be able to tell you how you specifically need to do it. I'm not going to be able to give you the roadmap. There are tools out there. And so what I can't have happen, and I'm making it very clear, I do not want this to happen. I do not want you to get to a point in your journey where you rely on me to carry you across your goal. I can't afford that for you because I can't, I get so many messages a day. I love every single one of them. I do my damnedest to get back to every single person who replies to me, whether it be Twitter, whether it be Facebook, whether it be wherever you reach out to me. I try very, very, very hard to get back to you because I understand that when you reach out, generally you're at a point in your journey where you just need someone to validate something you're feeling. And so I get that. But what I can't have happen is you believing that I'm the only reason you did this. What I need you to believe is that you found some tool, you found some strength, and you pulled your internal motivation and you got it done. And so the reason I elaborate on that is when the podcast is over, when you walk out of my meeting room, when I shut this, right now you're focused, you're dialed in. When I shut this whole thing down tonight, you will be faced with decisions. You'll quit watching this show tonight. You'll walk into your kitchen and there'll be something there, and you'll have the opportunity to eat it or not eat it, and you'll have to know if it aligns with your goal or if it doesn't align with your goal. I will not be there when you make that decision. And so if you make the decision and it aligns with your goal and you continue to do that, that is you, all you in your strength getting it done. That's not me standing in your kitchen knocking food out of your hand. I can't do that for 150,000 people. There is no way that I can do that. All I can do is build a community of people who say, hey, we can do this together. Let's rely on each other. Let's share some tips or tricks. But the reality is you have to do this. You have to make the conscious decision to say, I can do it, I'm going to do it, to set small goals, knock them off, and get them done. You have to do that on your own. I 100% believe that you can do that. So as much, I really, Karen, I absolutely appreciate this. I'm going to hang it. It's probably going to get hung, and you're going to be able to see it on the show because it means that much to me. Um, but I can't have you relying on this as a, if if for some reason Mike doesn't do a podcast, then I'm going to go eat, and going to be out of control. That and I know that's kind of a far fetched analogy, but the reality is I just truly need you to understand the responsibility that you have in this journey, and I want you to take credit for understanding that responsibility and take credit for all of the hard work that you are doing. You are doing this, right? I may be reminding you to do it on occasion, but you have found a way to remind yourself the rest of the day. This is 1 hour, or now two now. But this is 2 hours out of an entire week. So, yeah, 2 hours. That's it. The rest of the week is all you getting it done. On that note, I'll let you know again. I believe in you. 100% believe in you. It's possible. Every single one of you set small goals, accomplish them, set your sights on your goals, right? And go after it. Do it. So on that note, good night. Thank you for being here. It's been an amazing journey. We will continue rocking it and getting it done. So I wish you good focus. Good night, Instagram. And then YouTube, looks like YouTube froze up. So YouTube will say goodbye. I don't know why YouTube keeps freezing out. I'll have to find out what's causing